Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you. Hello Luca, welcome back. So yeah, continuing work on the Gunforged, the updated Gunforged demo. Got a lot of things to do still, but it's rapidly approaching. So we're getting to the point where, you know, I've got a couple of weeks probably until the new demo is released. But there's still a ton of stuff to do in terms of getting that ready to go. So in this stream, what I would like to do is go through all of the to-do items here, address each of these things in one way or another, and then we'll see where we're at, and then probably we'll add some more stuff to the backlog after that, or to the to-do list rather. because yeah, I just need to evaluate what absolutely needs to be done for the demo and just tackle those things until all the things that absolutely need to be done are finished, and then the demo can be published. So yeah, so before we get into it and start on our first task, I'd like to remind everyone that if you want to support my work, you could check out the links in the description below. I've got some Udemy courses available for purchase, so if you want to learn how to build a game in the Godot engine, definitely check those out. Otherwise, liking and subscribing and watching my videos, signing up for my email list at firebelly.com, and wishlisting Gunforged are all great ways to support my work as well. So the links for all of that stuff are in the description below. So please check that out, and let's get right into it. Hello, Suhid. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Christopher. Welcome back. You are here at the start. Hello, Chad. Welcome, welcome. All right. So, yeah. So the first thing on the to-do list is to give affixes display names. And this is actually going to be good because I probably want to create an affix unlock registry as well. So I'm probably going to want to do that at some point. This, I'm gonna have to look through this backlog when I'm ready for some more work, but let's go ahead and give affixes display names. So where am I actually going to use that? So I'm going to use that probably in a couple of menus here. If the project would start, that'd be great. So if I give myself a starting rune and I go into, let's say here, so yeah, rune, so it just says rune right there, but I could just add the display name. But I think mostly it's going to be useful in the gun upgrade table. So let's get to the upgrade table here. I'm already dying, it's fine. Hello, Vrabo. You're working on a demo this late into the year. I remember you saying you'd like to finish the game before New Year's. Yeah, so I think, so the demo, it's still in the direction of finishing the game, right? So the demo is basically going to be the complete game minus some of the content like the second and third arena, but it's going to be like feature complete as a demo. And so me targeting an updated demo is a way for me to focus in on finishing the features that need to be present in the game, and then also letting people try out the game in a more representative way, because right now the demo that exists is not really representative of how the game plays today, because it's like a year or two out of date. So updating the demo prior to the release, and the full release should happen a couple months later. So I was originally targeting the end of December for the release of Gunforged, but I think a more realistic timeline is now going to be the end of January. So that's what I'm targeting now. But yeah, it's still the goal to have this game done within like 2.5 months from now. So yeah, it's also a chance to get good feedback before spending time on new levels. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's basically just like throw it out there. It's more representative of what the game is. I can collect a final round of feedback on the demo before I go to full release, but the full release is not really being slowed down by the release of a demo. Hello, Newness Games. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Around your birthday. Oh, is your birthday in January? Well, it's my gift to you. Hello, Nepal V. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I watched your stream yesterday. I've got to say the game looks absolutely beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Okay, let's take a look at where these runes are coming from. So yeah, this rune here. So this just says affix. at the top in the orange text there. So what I want to do is give these a name that they can actually use. So I think that's going to be relatively easy to do because I've got this custom resource here, this affix resource. So I think what I can probably do is just give it a export public string display name, and then we'll make it a private setter. Okay, let's build that. And once that's done building, taking its time, I can go to my resources here, affix, and now I've got this. So I'm just going to give this a display name, bleed. This bullet pierce. Bullet split. Bullet seeking, I'll call it homing bullets, I guess. The display name doesn't matter that much, it's just a little bit of flavor here. Call that one critical strike. Double damage. Double damage. Let me read the description of that. I kind of set up this affix system a little bit wrong. I would have liked to put the description in the resource itself, but first dang it, I don't know what to call that one. You're a Unity developer, but I'm becoming more impressed with Godot's capabilities. Yeah, I think Godot is really good for 2D especially. I mention this all the time. Like I don't know if you're gonna find a better 2D engine than Godot. I honestly think that it beats all the big players. That's just my personal preference. A lot of that is just personal preference. I don't know how objectively you can measure game engines, but if I was gonna do a serious 3D project, I probably would look at doing Unity or Unreal for the time being. Depends on the complexity of the 3D project, but my understanding is Godot is somewhat lacking there still. Hello, game dev doggy. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying out GD extension with Rust now to handle some processing intensive tasks. That's interesting. I gotta experiment with GD extension as well. Hey, we've got an agreement, Suhid. Godot is the best 2D engine. Yeah, I agree. I came from Game Maker, so I mean, even in the Godot 3, I started using Godot when Godot 3 Alpha was available, and I switched off of Game Maker to Godot 3 Alpha, and even though like the engine was super buggy at that point, I could immediately tell like, yeah, this is much more sophisticated than Game Maker. What am I going to call this? First, I got two things called strike now. Critical strike and first strike. That's fine. Whatever. Empty slot damage. This is actually harder than I thought. That one we'll call fire. Fire rate ammo. Goodness. Fire rate increases as magazine depletes. Call that unload. Follow-up. Alternate fire. Increasing damage. What does that one do? Bullets deal up to % extra damage when on low ammo. I don't know. For some reason, the name Last Call is coming to me, so I'll put that in there. Not sure if that makes sense. We'll call this one Magma. That's fine. This one can just be called Oil. This one can just be called Poison. This one can just be called Shock. I'll call this one Shock Grenade. Why not? Very simple. Totem. I wonder if I could call it like Fact Toter. If people would get that reference. Does anyone get that reference if I say Fact Toter right there? I wonder if people will understand that or if that's a little bit too obscure. I remember using GameMaker 7 and 8 back in the Windows XP era. Never liked it. Felt way too basic. Yeah, I was like 14 years old or something when I got exposed to GameMaker. I think it was GameMaker 7, but it might have been GameMaker 8. But I definitely used it on Windows XP. And that was like my first exposure to game development. So I just kind of stuck with it because I didn't know how to use any other tool. You're using GD extension with C++ for an Android game. You want to share more about that? Like, what is the what's the use case? Like, why do you have to, or why did you choose to use GD extension for that Android game? I think it'd be interesting to hear. I'm both a game developer and a game dev enthusiast. The reason that it feels like small creators and indie studios are thriving right now, especially compared to the AA space. Oh, the reason is that it feels like, yeah, the indie space is very lively, especially on YouTube. I love watching all the devlogs and whatnot on YouTube. Very inspiring, really, to see all the projects people are working in. I need to find like a game dev meetup near me and start going to that. How do I make pixel perfect rotation? I think the trick to that is that you just need to set your viewport width and height to something small. I use 640 by 360 for basically every pixel game that I do because it's a fairly standard size and it goes into all of the major screen sizes and even integers. And then you just need to turn on the stretch mode to viewport so that it's rendering only using those pixels. And so when you start rotating things, it's just going to naturally be pixelated and chunky because of the limited amount of pixels available for rendering. So that's basically all you need to do. Bubble Tank Frenzy. I want to create a Game of Thrones fan game focused on Arya Stark following her adventures from the early books. That sounds cool. I mean, I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but that that concept sounds cool for sure. Okay, so I need to come up with a name for this. What do I put? I'm gonna call this minimalist. That sounds good to me. And then let's see, do I have another one to do? Oh, is that the only one I needed to name? Okay, so now we gotta find a place to use this. So if I go to my tooltip, let's see, tooltip. Well, I think I need to bring up the Gunforge UI actually. Gunforge UI, is there like an affix in here? Set title affix. Okay, so right, affix.get description, gun part affix, resource, abstract type should not have public constructors. What? I'm not going to change that. So yeah, the resources here, ID, resource feature tags. I wonder why I'm assigning the feature tags here. I'm assuming so that I don't have to get the resource every time. Where am I referencing this? Resource internal cooldown. Resource icon texture. Resource. So this is doing... I mean, that's just doing a map lookup, I guess. So that's probably not... Yeah, that's not an issue. So I guess what I'll do is I can just reference that then. So in my Gunforge UI, instead of setting the title of affix here, what I can do is affix.resource.displayName. And that should fix that there. And then in the gun part, well, let's see. Rune : gun part unlock screen. Instead of rune here, I think what I'll do is x.resource .displayName, and then I'll probably do that elsewhere as well. Probably not great that this is being copy and pasted across multiple places, but whatever. we're going YOLO mode. All right, let's see if that change is actually reflected everywhere. Devlogs confuse me when I start seeing the devs' morning routine and they put their cameras in the fridge just to get a 2-second scene. Like, why? Yeah, there are definitely some developers that take a more like artistic approach to their devlogs and make them more like little documentaries or little films. Which, yeah, it's I think it's kind of fun sometimes. But I'm definitely not going to do that. I mean, I think I want to, when Gunforged is done, I want to make a longer video, like maybe 30 minutes or something, and like a mini documentary, the making of Gunforged. And I want to explore like all the past 3 or 4 years and all the different iterations that it's gone through. So I might need to get some fridge shots for B-roll if I do that. Buffalo Game Space, game developers from all over the world meet up. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. Okay, you're using GD extension for performance reasons for your Android game? Gotcha. Hello, Rin. Welcome, welcome. Do I have a Discord server? I do not, no. Maybe someday, but not at the moment. I have a hard time managing all the social media channels and everything. Okay, let's take a look at this. Nice. So yeah, those display names are now showing up. Sweet. All right, let's just go ahead and take a look at the game too. My guns are terrible. Banana's barely hitting anything. That's my fault though. I put together that gun as my default gun. Okay, Berserk. I'm not gonna... It doesn't really matter what I choose. What I'm mostly interested in is seeing... Yeah, this is called Last Call. Bullets deal up to 100% extra damage when low on ammo. So what happens if I give myself... Add gold 100. If I reroll... Yeah, nice. And I can do that. Bleed. Nice. Yeah, that's looking great. It occurs to me that I might need a tutorial for this screen. But I'm gonna have to think about that some more. Sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna call that one done. Affixes now have display names, and I believe that they're being used anywhere where they need to be used now. We're just gonna do a quick once over here. Okay, add display names to affixes. All right, what's the next one up on the list here? The next one is don't destroy projectile that kills player. So this actually ties into some death screen stuff that I want to do. Player death animation component. So here, I actually want to particles root, visuals root. I want to duplicate one of these. I'm going to call this blood drip. I actually want to have blood falling from the sky on this screen. So let's put this there. I'm going to make this unique, recursive. Bang. All right. So let's just turn emitting on. I don't know what all that is. We want a box. Emission shape offset, emission box extents. Cool. All right, that's kind of what I wanted. Initial velocity. Turn this way down. And then the direction needs to be 1. Okay. Why is that still so fast? Do I still have gravity on this? Accelerations, gravity, yeah. I think this just needs to have a bigger lifetime now. There's no angular velocity to this. That's interesting. Oh, wait. There's supposed to be angular velocity. I wonder why that's not taking effect. Anyway. The dungeon icon looked cool. Yeah, thank you. It's, there's, that icon will just be, I'm kind of just being lazy with it. So that icon just indicates the difficulty. So on the graveyard, there's two icons side by side. And then on the third level, there's 3 icons side by side. So it just indicates the difficulty. Love the look of the tooltip box. Very nice. Thank you. Is this something you do full time? Yeah, it is now. I used to be a software engineer. I guess I kind of still am a software engineer. I don't know if you can ever lose that title, but I'm not officially employed. So I've been doing this full time since August. And I don't mean like game development specifically full time. I have Udemy courses, which is the main way that I'm supporting myself currently, but hoping to change that by offering up Gunforge for sale as well. How much is my runway? So I can go pretty far into next year based on my current projections. Obviously things can change, but it looks like I should be able to make it to about middle of the year for next year. And this is not, I didn't factor in any sort of Gunforge sales. I'm just factoring in what I have, what I know I have currently. And so Gunforge has the opportunity to change that even further. But we'll see. And of course, it also depends, like if I grow the YouTube channel, get more sponsorships for my videos, all that stuff is variable and can help. So there's a lot, it's up in the air right now, but you know, worst case scenario is I'll run out of money sometime next year and I'll just go and get another job. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it. Do I know how I'm going to price it? Yeah, I do. I don't want to commit to a price right now, or exact price right now, but currently I'm thinking under $10. $95. Yeah, if I price it at 95, I might get one generous person to buy it, and then that's it. Okay, so this blood drip here, I don't know why there's no angular velocity on this. Like there's supposed to be angular velocity, but do I have damping or something? Yeah, that's weird. They're not, the particles aren't rotating. Oh, that's not right. Align Y. Oh, disable Z needs to be in place. Interesting. So I just disabled those without knowing what I was doing, I guess. Rotate Y and disable Z. Okay, now they're rotating. But they're way too big now, so let's turn this down. Okay, these look way too common, so I'll turn that down. But then also, I think they're falling too fast. Okay, let me just see if I can get a sense for how this is working here. So they're not falling, so they should be, probably what should happen is they should have a relatively low initial velocity, but they should have kind of a bigger acceleration due to gravity. Is there a way, can I do a linear acceleration? So maybe I can do my own acceleration curve. Let's see if I can do my own acceleration curve. I've never really done this before. Well, that's not doing what I thought it was going to do. So that's getting closer to what I'm trying to do. I guess I just don't know what this... Okay, that looks much more like a drip now. That looks much more like a drip, and I can bring this down. Yeah, so now it looks like they're starting slowly and then they're coming down and accelerating. That's what I was looking for. Let's see if that looks all right. Downwell? Is this reminding you of Downwell? Okay, that looks much better. So now I just need to make sure that this blood drip does not play until the right moment in the animation here. So it needs to start emitting basically like at the end here, I think. And I'll show you why. So we'll go ahead and create that. Turn this to emitting on. Now let's go into the game and let's give myself a good old whack so I die. There we go. So the reason I wanted to add those blood drips is because I don't know if you can hear it, but there's like a blood dripping sound that's playing and looping in the background. That was a holdover from the old death animation that I had, but now I'm just kind of keeping it, but I needed to add an effect that matched the sound. So I think that looks great. Looks good. Thank you, Tom. Yep, you can get away with a lot with simple particles. Simple particles. I actually like doing particles quite a bit. But anyway. So, yes, I need to not destroy the... So I'm going to do this really quick. Update death screen effect. So now I need to see if I can make it so that the last bullet that hits the player doesn't get deleted, because I want the player to be able to see what hit them. Now this is probably going to be a little bit tricky. This may end up being something that I abandon, but we'll see. So I need to go to my bullet component. And let's see. So it's calling die in here. I have no clue what this function is doing. Handle node death. Oh, I see. Okay, so that is basically just disabling everything that needs to be disabled on collision. Okay. So die. Handle travel death, handle area collision. So this is the relevant part. Emit bullet last entity hit. Handle collision. Handle bullet collision. So that's being hit. Okay. So I think in here, I'd basically need to check. Am I using the faction in here anywhere? Faction enemy. Okay. I'm going to change this to a string name. I don't know if there's a way that I can do this. I don't know. It's going to be very hacky if I try to get the last bullet remaining. I guess what I could do is fake it. Maybe faking it is the way to go. I wonder if I could do that. How would I fake that? How would I fake that? So, hurtbox component. Handle bullet collision this. So it's getting the bullet component in here. Hit by bullet is being emitted with the bullet component. So let's take a look at the player. So we're getting the on hit by bullet here. Handle hit. Health component damage. I think in here probably this handle hit. Let me try something. If health component dot current health. Can I do like dead is dying? Is there anything in the health component that will tell me if I'm dead? Has died. Is damaged. Has health remaining. I guess I'll do that. What I want to do is I can grab that bullet component here. Which is currently being set up to die, I think. So after it handles the area collision, it handles collision, it calls die. It starts the death timer. Handle no death. Yeah, so I think in here, the idea is if I can intercept it right here. What happens if I just duplicate this? So context.bullet component. So we'll set it to the same global position, and then we'll do dupe.set process to false. This is so hacky, but we're gonna see if it works. Hello, Rin. Thank you so much for the $10. The $10, whatever the A represents. Very much appreciate that super chat. Thank you, thank you. Coffee, death, blood, budget. Thank you. Thank you for your generous donation. Very much appreciate it. Is there any big difference between Godot's programming languages, or is it just personal preference? Yeah, I think it's mostly personal preference. GDScript is a lot of fun to use. I actually like GDScript a lot. But yeah, it's nice that C# is available. And there's other community bindings as well, which is really good. Hello, Rumble Raven. I've been doing your Survivors course, and it's been helping me a lot with my own game. A lot of spaghetti code also helped me to see what Godot is capable of. Thank you, Rumble Raven. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're getting a lot of value out of the course. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm expecting this to break pretty pretty badly, but we're gonna see. Failed to build project. Oh, public static. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's just spawn a rat. And I might as well add health -2. Okay, that didn't work at all. I guess I didn't need to restart the game, but oh well. Okay. So this died signal is being emitted prior to this code running, but I don't know if that's exactly a problem. Oh no, it is a problem because the player death animation component in here when it calls create visuals, it takes the player. No, it's adding the player as a child. So this code should still be running. Let me verify something here. I should be able to see that bullet in the tree if it's being added correctly, but I have to time this. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the other screen so I can time it. Okay, so I've paused right at this stage here. So now I can go to my remote scene tree and let's take a look at the hub level, rooms, hub arena, Y-sort origin, entities. Oh no, it's not gonna be in there. It's gonna be in the player death animation component, visuals root, visuals player, and there's an enemy bullet here. So the enemy bullet is there. It's been duplicated. Where is its position? -202, -98. So it's just out of view, I guess. So I guess it's just being added at the wrong position. What happens if I don't set the global position here? I wonder if I'd have to transform to local. We'll try like this first. Why are you not syntax highlighting? Hello? Okay. Let's see if I just remove that global position assignment, if it will automatically use the correct position. A equals Australian, normally AU, don't know why Google changed it. Oh, gotcha. So I got some Australian dollary dues. Very nice, thank you again. Okay, so that's not working. So this dupe dot position probably needs to be equal to dupe dot to local context dot bullet component dot global position. I don't know if that's going to work. I think because it gets all messed up when the player gets added to this canvas layer and the transforms just get all completely just wild. So that's probably the problem. I should probably pause and look at the position again. Or I could just, let's just do a breakpoint. We'll see how that breakpoint works instead. Spawn rat. Give me my breakpoint. Okay, so we're going to create the dupe, add the child. Okay, so global position 165 and 48. So that's the global position, but you could see that if I'm adding it as a child of the player, I can't bring up the screen anymore. Okay, yeah, so you could see, oh, I can't use my mouse. The bullet in relation to the player is actually going to have a much smaller position locally. So what I need is the bullet to essentially be like right there when all of the tree gets transformed in the way that it's getting transformed. But what does the position become after I call to local? Yeah, that's not right at all. Negative 320, negative 191. I think it's because there's the canvas layer creates an entirely new, I don't know how to call it, but like transform chain. So I would need to do something fancier. Or add it to the player prior to the death animation component kicking off, but I don't know if I want to do that. Hello, Vidrum. Is the new demo going to be ready before December? I believe so, yeah. Still targeting the end of November, so what is it, like 15 days? So a little over 2 weeks. I think I can do it in that amount of time, but we will see. So yeah, I gotta figure out how to get this into a proper position. I think I had this problem with the player as well. Get parent, remove child, add child player. Okay. I guess I'll try. The only other way to fix this is to defer the on died signal. So this base level here, where it's listening to player died. I think what I probably want to do in here is just defer that call. So let's try that. I don't know if that's going to have any knock-on effects, but player.connect, player.signal name. Died, callable.from on player died, and then we're going to do uint callable flags, or not callable flags, connect flags dot deferred. So that will just defer the signal handler call so that it doesn't happen immediately when the died signal is emitted, but it will happen at the idle time, I guess at the end of the frame. And that should hopefully fix this issue where the bullet is out of position. So now I should be able to do something like that. All right. I have no clue if that's going to work, but we're going to see. Nope. All right, this might be more trouble than it's worth. That's not working at all now. Oh, you know what? It's probably been set to invisible as well. Yeah, this is probably not worth the effort. Let's see, where's my bullet component? Handle node death. I guess let's do another breakpoint. Let's just see what's going on here. I have some other improvements that I want to make to this. Death animation too, there's just some wonkiness happening that I want to get rid of. Okay, so let's see. That global position. Can I look at the dupe's position, normal position? Its normal position is -180, -128. The player... Oh, I don't have access to the remote scene tree here. Yeah, that position is still wrong. I don't know why that's happening. That position is still wrong. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to pause this again. No, that doesn't help, does it? I wish there was a way to trigger a pause from the code. Is there a way to do that? I guess I could just pause the entire scene tree. No, that's not going to work because I have some node set to process always. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is worth the effort just to get this bullet to show up. Oh wait, I still have this signal here. That's a problem. Okay. So maybe I just was handling that signal twice on accident. Let's try this again. Hello, Emerson Santos. Welcome back. Good to see you. Oops, I dodged him. Yeah, still not working. Okay, last ditch effort. I'm gonna get rid of this just entirely. And we're gonna try it out. And if this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna abandon that and say, nope, too difficult. Okay, yeah, this is just not gonna work. All right, well, that was a big detour, but I am going to say nope to this. Not doing this anymore. Maybe some other time. But it's not critical, I don't think. It was just kind of like a nice to have. Yeah, I could get rid of this. Okay, well, that's how it goes sometimes. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this card because I didn't do that. All right, let's fix the lowrider spider meteor attack now. So the lowrider spider meteor attack can go out of bounds. So we just need to add a raycast to that. So spider meteor. Actually, I guess that would be Spider Meteor. There we go. Did you try the new Godot 4.4 dev version? No, I've been wanting to try it. Probably just wait for the RC to come out, the release candidate. I don't want to mess anything up with my project, and I'm so close to publishing the demo, but I do want to try it. I'll try it when it's more close to official release. Hey, Cammy, thank you so much for the $20. Very much appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. That's very generous. Got the Woot. What is that, a dancing controller? Very nice. Your streams and content are so valuable. Wish I could extend more. No, it's very much appreciated. Thank you. Everything helps, and it's very generous. Also, I'm glad to hear that the streams and content are enjoyable and valuable. The new live editor is pretty decent. Yeah, that's something that I definitely want to check out. The only C# Godot content stream at YouTube. Oof, I don't know if I'm going to maintain that that title if I use GDScript for my next game. Maybe I should stick with C# if everyone's finding value in that. Game editor and visual shader preview. Yeah, I want I thought there was some like performance improvements as well and some C# improvements, but I could be wrong about that. Okay, so where's the Spider Meteor coming in? Yeah, so this is just choosing a random global position here. So what I want to do instead is probably call this var target position. And then I want to do var raycast is equal to get world 2D dot direct space state dot raycast new physics raycast query parameters 2D. I always forget. From player dot global position to collide with areas equals false, collide with bodies equals true, collision mask is equal to I think I can just do one. Exclude hit from inside. Yeah, I don't need any of that. Okay. So if raycast dot position is not equal to null, then I can do target position is equal to raycast dot position, and then meteor dot global position is equal to target position. So there's the raycast. I think that's going to work. Let's find out. Even if it's GDScript, it's fine. Your content is good. Yeah, I have to, because my next game is going to be online co-op multiplayer, which was really fun. So I have to balance it out, because what I want to do is I want to make at some point, assuming that I learn enough about multiplayer, I want to do a multiplayer Udemy course. And I think that Udemy course would probably do better if I did it in GDScript versus C#. I guess that doesn't really have any bearing over what language I use in my new game though, but yeah, I've been thinking a lot. I'm like, actually, I do want to do a multiplayer course, because I think that there's a sore lack of multiplayer tutorial content for Godot, and the multiplayer tutorial content that does exist is very basic. It doesn't really show you what it actually looks like to have a comprehensive multiplayer system for a game, right? It's mostly just like, here's a single level and here's how you get players to like update their positions, but it doesn't tell you anything about pre-game lobbies or handling connection and disconnection or server authority and how to, you know, shuffle data between all the clients in a performant way. So yeah, I want to spawn a lowrider spider. Let's see if that meteor attack works. Lowrider spider, I still need to find sound effects for him. Okay, it looks like those spider meteors are working. This is chaos. Yeah, once Lowrider Spider has some better sound effects in place. Why am I taking... Oh, I'm not taking damage because I'm immune during the in-between wave phase. Like, this state will never happen in the actual game. It's just me goofing around with my debug powers, but... Sorry, I'm just having fun goofing off right now. Anyway, so I'm going to call that one good. Add raycast detection to spider meteor. Okay, so that means that our backlog is now empty. Well, except for this in-progress sound effects, but I need to do that off-stream because the sound effects is fine to implement on-stream when I know what sounds I'm using, but the problem is that most of these sounds that I have here, I'm going to have to do a bunch of like digging around the internet to find something suitable, and that's not exactly the most entertaining thing in the world. So I'm trying to keep the streams to be relegated to content that I generally have a good idea of how I'm going to approach it. But yeah, so we've got an empty to-do list here. So that means that that needs to be rectified. So I will go ahead and do that. Hello, Dreamwave Lo-Fi. If I create weapon assets, would you consider using them? I could also try to make some SFX. I do sound effects, music, and pixel art. No, I appreciate the offer. I really do. And I'm glad that people are eager to help out. But yeah, I think this is mostly just going to be my own personal effort everywhere, top to bottom, except for I am, hiring people to do the music because I can't really compose music, but I've already got somebody in mind for that. But if you're interested in potentially me contracting with you, you could feel free to send me an email, admin@firebelly.com, with your portfolio and whatnot. And I can't guarantee that I'm going to work with you, but you can always send that my way. And I have a little folder in my email where I keep contacts for various contractors and artists and whatnot and musicians, so that when I do need music, I can go back and reference that. Just throwing an offer out there. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a good attitude to have. I always, one of the best pieces of advice that I think is out there in terms of like career development or just anything is like, just pick up the phone and call somebody or just send a cold email. Like, if you want to work with somebody, like, and their contact information is on the internet, send them an email. And, it's not going to work out every time, but it's certainly not going to work out if you never do that, right? So, there's a lot of stories of people having interesting career trajectories because they picked up the phone and called somebody out of the blue because they found their name in a phone book, right? I think that I think Steve Jobs has like a story like that where he just called up somebody and asked them a bunch of questions, like a CEO of a company. Anyway, that's an extreme example, but yeah, definitely shoot your shot. I will not be offended by you making an offer. You did all the juicy effects. Yes, I did. Well, yes, I did. Yeah. I do things for you currently trying to build a portfolio. Well, you can still send me an email anyway, and I'll keep you in mind. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break before I fill out this backlog before I move on to the next piece of work. So I'll take that quick 2-minute break. In the meantime, please check out the links in the description below. The links contain all the various ways in which you can support my work, either financially or non-financially. Something as simple as Wishlist and Gunforged is a huge help to me and doesn't cost you anything. So please consider supporting my work through the links in the description below. Give me just 2 minutes and I'll be right back, and then we'll continue working on whatever needs to be worked on. All right, I'm back. Thank you all for your patience. Yes, thank you, Christopher, for answering that question. Okay, so let's take a gander at the items that I've got. So again, I'm going to be looking at the tasks through the lens of, is this something that is necessary to address for the release of the demo? And so I think that we're going to go ahead and do that. So I think that this one needs to be done, and rather than addressing the ticket as it stands, I think what I'm going to do is use this as an opportunity to just rewrite or reconsider the tag you're it passive, because I don't want to add a whole nother. What I'm trying to avoid is adding new systems to the game that then need to be implemented and integrated and tested and all that stuff. I'm trying to stick to just using the systems that I already have for any of the content that I'm using or that I'm creating. Add a way for the player to bring up the upgrade tree. I don't think that this one is going to be necessary for the demo. This one basically is just me saying that while I'm inside of a game, I should be able to pull up my meta upgrade tree and see what upgrades I have. But I don't really think that that's not something that other games do. And while I do think it would be nice, I think that it's probably not necessary for the demo. This is content for the full release of the game. I'm thinking the third level is going to be kind of like a void level with some like void monsters or demons or something, but I have to think about that some more. Affix unlock registry, I think, is something that we need to do. So this will be like the gun part unlocks. So this is actually going to entail also having an affix unlocks table as well in the hub. And this is going to be code, art, and UI. Enhanced bullet tracking with Pierce. This enhancement needs to be in place, I believe. I don't think this card is relevant anymore. Fast fire rate, shake the camera too much. Fixed camera, reduce top end of fire rate. I think that this one's irrelevant as well. That was created a while ago. Okay, and then bullet impact effects. We're missing a ton of bullet impact effects, so I'm going to add that to the to-do list as well. Pool muzzle flash effects, enemy muzzle flash. We want an enemy muzzle flash. I think that's an effect that's missing. I probably want to do this pooling as well. And this pooling is just me pooling the scene instances instead of reinstantiating things. It's perfect for the things that are short-lived and get reinstantiated quite frequently. So I'm going to pool those. Hopefully that will help a little bit. Animate Gunforge UI. This is actually already done. So I can actually mark these as done. Don't you just love that when you don't even need to go through the process, you can drag this over? Animate Pulse, I've already done that as well. Wow, look at that. Improved noticeability of health. I think I've done that. So that's done as well. Use particles for jib parts. Enemy projectile death. That is going to be handled by that. So I think this is redundant. Pool telegraph indicators. Probably not something that I need to do for the demo. Okay, and I've got this ideation column here. A rubber duck gun. Ooh, I need to make the rubber duck gun. Flamethrower. Differentiate barrels and receivers between fire rate, ammunition, and range. I kind of did that. I don't know what this means. So the rest of the stuff is just like content ideas. Is there anything in the back burner that needs to be addressed? Environmental dangers. Okay, I actually think that we're in pretty good shape. Now, this is obviously not the only things that need to be addressed, but this is my current to-do list now. And once I get through this list, it looks like the board is actually getting relatively light. There's a ton of content ideas here, which I will definitely probably add some more content prior to the release of the demo just to fill it out a little bit more. But I think beyond this to-do list, what I'm probably going to need to do is do a bunch of play testing and just make sure that everything is feeling good. I probably should also, let me think. I need to integrate Steam at some point, but I don't think that's necessary for the demo. Hello, Fox Shadow. I'm interested in this pooling concept, especially for projectiles. Yeah, I think projectiles are going to be a little bit trickier. What if I added global warming to my game? Oh, that's funny. There are no polar bears in my game, so you wouldn't really notice a difference. So the pooling concept, yeah, the scene pool, I already have like a scene pool here. It's a very basic implementation, but it's kind of, it's kind of brittle because when you're instantiating scenes, more complex scenes especially, if they have their own scripts, they're going to have some kind of internal state that needs to be reset when the object gets returned to the pool. And so that can get really hairy. It can get really easy to lose track of what the initial state is and how things need to be reset. But one place where I'm using the scene pool is circle explosions. So basically my circle explosion here, it implements this iPoolable interface, which has methods return to pool and initialize from pool. And the return to pool gets called when the item's about to be inserted into the pool. And this is where I reset all of my data. And then initialize from pool, this is just another opportunity to do whatever logic you need to do. And this is when that item has been pulled from the pool. And then in the pool itself, I can call get. So I initialize the scene pool with a packed scene of the scene that I'm pooling and a max size for the size of the pool. When I call get, it's going to look at the queue of available objects. So these are the objects that have already been created but are now pooled. If there's one available, it's going to dequeue that from the queue. So pop it off the queue or pull it from the queue. And then it calls that initialize from pool. And if there is no object available in the pool, it will instantiate one based on the scene that you configured here. And then it will just call the initialize from pool again. So it's as if it was pulled from the pool, even though it's being instantiated. And then add to pool here. Where is this actually being called? So return to pool gets called, right? So return to pool now, I kind of have to call this instead of queue free. So if I want the circle explosion to be freed, I just call return to pool instead. And then each pooled object has a reference to the scene pool it belongs to. So then it can call add to pool on that scene pool. And then it basically just says, if the queue is already at max size, just queue free the scene. Otherwise, remove it from the scene tree and then add it to the pool. So anyway, that's the basic setup. But again, you have to manage the state carefully when it's going in and out of the pool, because you don't want it to maintain the state from an older instantiation, right? Is instantiating objects that much more expensive than all of this extra pooling functionality? It can be. It depends on the complexity of the scenes that you're instantiating. This is more of an experiment. Me just trying to see. I have to do some more testing. But you could imagine, like, if you're instantiating like 10 things at once, like, you can definitely notice with more complex scenes, if you try to instantiate 10 more complex things at once in a single frame, you get like a hitch. And I don't think that hitch would necessarily be there with the scene pooling, because the idea behind the scene pooling is that the object in the tree has already been fully instantiated. It's just not in the scene tree. And so adding it to the scene tree is in theory at least quicker than instantiating the whole thing and then adding it to the scene tree. How well does the object pool help with performance? But it helps get around C# garbage collection. It can help with that. I don't know. I haven't done like very sophisticated testing on this yet. Oh, that's an interesting implementation, yeah. Object pooler 2D. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead. So that's my pooling there. Let's go ahead and tackle one of these. So I could do the pool muzzle flash effects. We do need bullet impact effects. We do need an affix unlock registry. So I need to figure out which one of these I want to work on. The affix unlock registry is probably a good one to work on. So let's go ahead and get that started. So I have this codex entry. Try unlock parts. So this is the gun part unlock manager. This doesn't even need to be an auto load, I don't think. So I'm actually gonna change this. Delete that. Don't need that. And then this gun part unlock manager, I think I can just go into where should I put that? Oh, in manager. Let's go ahead and move this. This no longer needs to inherit node or anything. Okay. This is game.manager. Cool. All right, so I'm going to create basically the same thing. So paste this in here. A gun, let's do affix unlock manager. All right, and this is going to be try unlock affix. Okay, let's create a try unlock static bool try unlock affix string affix ID. All right, gun part unlock. So we're going to need another dictionary here. This is going to be affix unlocks. This gun part unlock, I'll probably just duplicate this. Paste, rename, affix unlock, affix unlock. And then this base save object here just has a timestamp when it was unlocked as well. So this can become affix unlock as well. Perfect. All right. So now in here, show codex toast. Affix dot resource dot icon texture. That's probably not going to look good at all. So I'm going to need to do something else about that, but this is affix dot resource dot display name. Okay, we might have to make some changes to that toast, but okay, so try unlock affix here, and then let's fill this out. So I'm just going to copy and paste all this here. Affix unlocks, affix ID, affix unlock. Cool. All right, that should be it. It's actually relatively simple. Okay, so now I need to basically call this try unlock affix. I need to call this try unlock affix in certain places. So where does this try unlock affix need to be called? Is there a good reason why you chose C# instead of GDScript? Yeah, it's just personal preference. I mean, good reason is kind of subjective. Basically, I just wanted the C# static typing and software design patterns that I could apply better than GDScript. And this was before GDScript had typing as well. So I started working on this project, you know, early in Godot 3. But yeah, it's mostly personal preference. What's the biggest project you've worked on? This one, for sure. In terms of games, yeah, this one is the biggest, I think. I may have had more ambitious ideas earlier on when I was making games, but like there's one that I made. Let me see if I can pull it up. Firebelly.itch.io. This game here. That I was making was a lot more just deep, I guess. There was a lot more potential for this one. Can I full screen this? Can I full screen this? Let's see, is that gonna work? There we go.
Hello and welcome back to
Oh my gosh, there's my voice. So yeah, this one was like a whole, it was like an MMORPG open world with zones. And you could go and complete quests and loot things. So this would have been probably if I had stuck with this project, this would have been the biggest project ever that I've ever worked on. But I was like, this is too big, so I stopped. But yeah, that's probably the biggest one. So I need to call this try unlock. Where is try unlock parts being done? Player gun manager, get gun part resources. Maybe I should do... Maybe I should do this. And then in the gun part unlock manager, I'll do this in the same spot. Gun part unlock, or gun, no, affix unlock manager. Try unlock affixes gun dot. Can I not get all the affixes from here? Oh wait, can I do gun dot? Get gun stats dot affixes. So I can call that there, but I also want to do it when my rune inventory is added, so whoops. Player rune inventory manager. So an add affix here. I want to try this. I want to do affix unlock manager dot try unlock affixes. Can I do this? Nice. So try to unlock the affix whenever it gets added to my rune inventory, and then also just update it whenever the guns change and they have a list of affixes on them. So I should actually start seeing some notifications here immediately if this worked. There we go. New codex entry. Shock unlocked. Shock unlocked again. Okay. Oil unlocked. Oil unlocked again. Shock unlocked again. Okay, something's wrong. So why is that happening? Oh, affix unlocks. Oops. I forgot to change that dictionary there. Oops. So that means that my save data is actually going to be bonkers. Yeah, shock and oil. Okay, that was just being put in the wrong dictionary. Okay, let's see if this works now. Okay, so that codex needs to be updated to use the rune visuals, but it seems to be working, so that's good. That looks cool. Yeah, that game, I liked that game. Apart from this game, I'm also looking forward to seeing you work on that Globins concept. Yes, that's going to be really fun. That's going to be really fun. When I learned enough to start making my first game like 4 years ago, I was basically like, I want to make a 2D Skyrim with alchemy. Didn't know much about scoping games, so I didn't get very far, yeah. Small scope games where it's at, for sure. Everyone makes that mistake when they first get into game development because you have to learn how much effort something takes. It's still something that even I struggle with, you know. But I think I'm getting better at it, and game jams help a lot. Making small games helps a lot in terms of figuring out how to scope and manage what you can do. All right, let's figure out a way to make this codex toast. This toast notification here. The icon needs to have like another texture rect behind it. This is going to be a little bit iffy. If I hide that and I do another texture rect here and I do like a rune like so. So I might need to do something like this. Okay, so now my toast notification here. This is getting a little bit, oh, this is misspelled. This is getting a little bit hairy in terms of this start here. Toast notification message. Where's this coming from? Show codex toast, show toast. I'm gonna call this new gun part. Show gun part toast. Show affix toast. Icon texture subtitle. New rune. Okay. new toast notification message. So this public bool is rune. This is so messy, but I'm not that interested in making it better. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so that's in queuing those things. So now when we start, I'm just gonna do this, is rune equals false. All right, let's do bool. Let's make it not have a default value. Okay, so we've got the icon and we've got the rune, okay. Node private texture rect rune node private texture rect rune icon. So in here we'll say rune, let's do icon dot visible is equal to not is rune, and then rune dot visible is equal to is rune. Rune icon dot texture is equal to icon texture. Okay, so I think that update should be fine. I'm gonna go to my save data here and get rid of this affix unlocks here. So we start fresh and let's try it again. All right, it didn't work. Very nice. Why didn't that work? Oh, because it's still calling show gun part toast. Show affix toast. There we go. That's why it's wrong. All right, let's try again. I tried to make something super simple and ended up blowing up in scope, and now I'm just stuck making it. Yeah, that happens. All right, there we go. We got the rune now showing up. New rune oil. Nice. And then I should probably make sure that my gun parts are still working. So let's get rid of the lightning receiver, wherever that is. Get rid of that. I just want to make sure that that is still displaying correctly. It's meant to be played by adults. Okay. Who's your favorite game dev streamer? My favorite game dev streamer? I don't really watch game dev streamers. I mean, if you just mean like game dev YouTubers in general, I really like DevDuck's channel. I'm gonna say a bunch of names that I can't remember. The guy that's making Slime Keep, I forgot what his channel's called, but I like those devlogs as well. What else? Yeah, the thing is, like, there are relatively very few game developer like YouTubers / streamers that are like regularly creating content. I'll see often like a devlog pop up in my recommended that has like 20,000 views, and then I go to the channel and there's like 3 videos total, and the channel's like 3 years old, and it's like interesting. 'Cause some people just like, I don't know, they get it into them that they want to make a devlog and it does really well, and then they stop. I don't know. So I get a bunch of random game dev logs on my recommended that I will watch, but yeah, DevDuck and the Slime Keep guy, and what else? Don't remember. You and Growth Devlog. Oh yeah. Oh, Thomas Brush. I like Thomas Brush's content. That's a little bit more, I would say that his channel is more professionally oriented, but I do like his a lot of the interviews that he does, and also his live streams are pretty fun. Pirate software. Yeah, I've heard. See, I checked out Pirate software yesterday, and I didn't really understand what was going on because in the bio it says that he's like an indie game developer, but then I went to his channels and it's like all video, like AAA video game news. It's like I don't want to watch a gaming channel. I want to watch a game development channel, right? Ben Bonk. Yes, thank you, Ben Bonk. Polymars is a good one. Yep. I remember. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. A lot of people need to publish more. Oh, what's the other one? Blackthorn Prod is a good one too. Hello, Enoch. Where did you learn Godot? Courses, YouTube? Mostly just reading the documentation. Because I started using Godot, like I said, back in 3.0 alpha. So that, like, talk about a lack of documentation. So a lot of it was just like me poking around, trial and error, reading the subreddit and the forums and the documentation, the built-in documentation. And yeah, like looking up some YouTube videos, because not a whole, like the what am I trying to say? Philosophy behind the engine didn't really change from Godot 2 to Godot 3. So I was able to look at some Godot 2 tutorials to get a sense of like how things were supposed to be done. So yeah, it was a mishmash of all those kinds of things. I didn't take any courses, but just kind of a mishmash of different sources. Okay, so I think that this codex is now working, which means that the next step is to create like a screen for that, so that I can see all of the affix unlocks. That's probably going to be basically the same as the gun part unlocks screen. Look at that, it's working perfectly. So yeah, that UI now needs to be made, and the table to access that UI that can be placed in the hub. Sweet. Did I list that as a separate thing to do? Affix unlocks table, yeah. So that unlock registry is done. So I'm going to go ahead and commit that. So that actually didn't take much time at all. I mean, that's just kind of the nature of the systems that I have going. It's like I've already got systems in place for doing exactly this kind of thing. So it was relatively easy to just add more. Okay, add affix unlocks. All right, let's see if we can get something relatively easy done here. Affix unlocks table, yes, I'm gonna have to do that. Bullet tracking, that's gonna be a somewhat involved one. So I could do some bullet impact effects, I suppose. Enemy moss bone. I do want to do an enemy muzzle flash and pool muzzle flash effects. I'm actually curious to see how that's gonna work, because that might actually be harder than I think it will be. Standard muzzle flash. Yeah, so in here, we've got an animation player. Standard muzzle flash. So the problem is that this has autoplay on, but I don't know if that's going to... Yeah, this is actually going to be relatively difficult. Let's see, muzzle flash scene. Where is this actually referenced? It's referenced only in the assembled gun. Well, that's easy. So instance are free, node 2D. So what I probably need to do is make all those muzzle flashes extend from the same script so that a pool can be used for them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to create a script. Okay, let's try an experiment then. We'll just try it with the standard muzzle flash. Scripts. I don't have a script for effect. Oh wait, I do. Oh, interesting. Muzzleflash.cs. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. So we'll just call it muzzle flash, custom create. So this is going to extend, or this is going to have to implement iPoolable muzzle flash, implement interface. We don't need any of these things, I don't think. Private scene pool, muzzle flash, scene pool. This dot scene pool equals scene pool, and then return to pool. I don't really need this to do anything. What am I doing? Let's see. Okay. Scene pool dot add to pool this. Okay. So hopefully this is relatively simple. Now the thing that I want to test is like if this animation player is going to autoplay again when it gets added to the scene tree. So this, let me build this. And I'm going to probably break things. Where's the assembled gun? Instants are free as muzzle flash here. Okay. So I can get rid of that. Add track, call method track, standard muzzle flash, insert key, return to pool. So this return to pool needs to happen at 1 second. So it's going to play and then it's going to return itself to the pool. And then we'll see if that works. People love Danny, but I'm not a big fan of his content. Yeah, he's got a different audience, I think, than what I'm looking for. The bone bullets look great, thank you. Yeah, the infotainment, yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite too. Mostly I like watching the game dev content for inspiration, but yeah, occasionally like somebody will talk about a really interesting like problem and be like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. For example, Fire Valley Games, that guy sounds cool, yeah. Too memey and too dry, yeah. It depends on what audience you're going for. My videos are mostly like, I think more, I don't want to use the word professional, but they're more in that direction. I don't think I can pull off a memey video. Okay, there's a bunch of errors happening. Object reference not set to instance of object. Is initialized from pool not working? Oh, right. The muzzle flash. Right, I actually need to... Okay, I need to... This is wrong. Let me try this. Private dictionary. Let's do... Can I just use a packed scene? Scene pool, muzzle flash. Muzzle flash pools. If pool equals null, then what I want to do is do muzzle flash pools stats.muzzle flash scene equals, let's do pool equals new scene pool muzzle flash stats.muzzle flash scene max size. Let's do 20. Muzzle flash pool stats muzzle flash scene equals pool. Nice. And then I can say my muzzle flash is equal to pool.get. All right, now let's try that. So basically I just set up a pool for each different type of muzzle flash. And the first time the muzzle flash is encountered, it will initialize a pool. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like the animation does not play every time now when I'm pulling it from the pool. Sometimes it plays though, that's interesting. G.print pulled from pool. Instantiated. I just want to see. I'd be here for a Mimi video if you ever decide to make one. I could try it. I don't know. I don't think I have it in me though. Yeah, Danny is definitely targeted at not game dev audience. That also helps, yeah. Yeah, it's all about audience, really. Yeah, so every time pulled from pool here, why is there... Why is pulled from pool? Oh, because I have multiple pools going on. Right, I've got multiple pools happening here, so... Is it calling fire multiple times? Begin fire. Huh. But it looks like every time it's pulled from the pool, it's not playing the muzzle flash. Yeah, so when it's instantiated, it does play the muzzle flash. Sometimes it's still saying instantiated, though. I don't understand that. Something funky is going on. I think that there's something critically wrong here. Sebastian Legge, yeah. Yeah, that was a good channel as well. Adam C. Eunice, how could I forget him? Yes. Thomas Brush. I've never heard of Tissue Inu. GD Quest is good too, yeah. Gwiz, yeah. That's the thing about, like, I have to be careful. That's the other thing about the audience too, is like if you change the style of your videos, people may not appreciate that if they've been a long time sub. So a lot of being a YouTuber and is just managing the audience expectations properly, which is, it's kind of difficult, but I think consistency is key, really. Okay, so the reason that this isn't working is because basically this animation player isn't running. Now the problem is, I don't know, let me think. I basically need the reset animation to be played when it leaves the tree. But I don't want to do that with code because each muzzle flash is going to kind of have its own structure. I mean, they've all got animation players, so I guess I could maybe rely on that, but I don't really want to. I'd much rather have, like, if I can just have the animation player automatically play the reset animation when it leaves the tree, that would be great. Unfortunately, I don't see any settings that allow that to happen. Yeah, that could definitely be a thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a sophisticated enough YouTuber yet, but I can imagine that would be a problem. It's a risk, right? Because if you change your content significantly, you're probably... The calculation obviously is going to be, well, I'm going to alienate some people, but I'm going to open up an entirely new, larger audience. So I don't know. I'm going to try. I mean, I have some experimental things that I want to do with the channel, like the code review stuff I want to do. I want to try making like longer form, like retrospectives, like the 30-minute Gunforged making of documentary video or whatever. Those are kind of deviations from what I currently do, but still kind of in the same vein, so we'll see. Nice. What's your game called, and what game jam did you submit to? I'm curious to see what happens if I do this. This dot get first node of type animation player dot play private play the reset animation. Let's see if that works. G developed 6 big game jam and theme fix it, and they all had 9 days. Awesome. When do you get the results for that? Is it going to be soon? Yeah, so those animations are never being reset. Let's try this. Anim reset. Try some animation player hacks there. Nope, still not working. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to play with that some more. It's it doesn't want to work to play the animation unless the autoplay just isn't working. Autoplay on load. That's not an autoplay on enter tree. Interesting. What happens if I do this? Edit transitions. Auto cue default. Next auto cue. Autoplay on load. Is there a way to play an animation when it enters the tree rather than when loading? I could do animation player.q var current animation equals animation player dot current animation. Or assigned animation. I don't know, let's try that. Hopefully by queuing up the animation but then removing it from the tree, it will just continue with that animation. Oh my gosh, did it work? It worked, oh my gosh. So now I won't be instantiating that if I don't need to. I don't know if that's going to help, but it might. I'm curious to see now. Let's get rid of that. Scene pool. Yeah, it looks like dispose is working too. So the thing about the scene pool is that if you're keeping orphan objects, so orphan nodes are basically just nodes that are instantiated, they're taking up memory, but they're not in the scene tree. And the scene pool basically stores a bunch of orphan nodes, and then when you call get on the scene pool, it pulls a node out, and then you can use that to insert it into the tree. The problem is that when this scene pool gets like garbage collected, I actually need to specifically call queue free on all of those orphan nodes. Otherwise, those will just be orphaned forevermore and taking up memory. It's a small amount of memory, but it's still good practice to clean it up. So that's what this dispose is doing here. And I don't think I'm ever specifically calling this. I guess I am specifically calling this in a couple of places, but maybe I should. Maybe I should actually see if that is going to be called automatically or if I need to do that. I might need to call that myself, that dispose. But let's see. We should have a Firebelly jam. I like code review. I watched Cherno's code review, though. Yeah, I want to do that. A Firebelly jam is something that I want to do. I think I need to let my YouTube channel grow a little bit more, but that is something that I'd be interested in doing. The voting is still on 2 days left. It's a browser game. Should only take about 2 minutes to complete. Will you try it out? Yeah, if you wanna say where we can find it. Doorway to Victory. I'm not gonna play it on stream, but I will play it. If you tell me where, is it on itch.io? Doorway to Victory itch. Okay, yeah. I'm a little bit behind. One detail I think would help polish Gunforge would be cool if the bullet shot out sparks or other particles when they hit the walls instead of just disappearing. Yes, you're right. That's the bullet impact effects that I have here in the to-do list. So great minds think alike. Yeah, that is a missing piece that I have just never got around to, but will be done for the demo indeed. Ever ran into your game lagging terribly if Godot stays open for too long? No way to fix the lag other than to close and reopen Godot, but the lag always comes back after about an hour. I don't have that problem, no. I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I could give you some advice there, but I don't really have anything. Doorway to Victory itch. Okay, let me pull that up actually. Yep, I found it. Okay. I've got it open in my browser here. So I will play that after stream, probably after I eat lunch. I'll leave a comment for you when I play it. Okay, let's see if this scene disposal works automatically or not. I'm guessing it doesn't, but let's see. And yeah, so here's the icon. So if I do next, it just gets more icons the more difficult it is. Okay, so it did not call dispose. Okay, so I need to dispose of this too. So let me do that. So in the assembled gun here, notification pre-delete here. Oh wait, assembled gun. This is going to be a pool per gun rather than a global pool. So I'm going to need to make this kind of like a global pool. But I'm going to still go ahead and do this. For each var pool in muzzle flash pools.values, pool.dispose. So when we're about to delete this, we got to dispose of all those pools. But I'm going to make this a global so that all guns can share the same muzzle flash pools. Otherwise, it's on a per gun basis, which doesn't make sense. So I've got some work to do on that still, but yeah. Never seen that lag either, and I have Godot open pretty much constantly. Yeah, it could be an issue with the game or with your project. Okay, well, I'm going to call the stream there. I'm going to go get some lunch. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me. And I'll definitely check out your game, Tassin. After I'm done, I'll leave you a comment, like I said, when I play it. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you so much for the super chats from everybody. Very much appreciate that. Everything helps. So thank you for your generosity, and thank you for your continued support. Thank you all for being here, for watching, both to the live viewers and to the people that are watching the VOD. It's great to have you here. Once again, if you'd like to support my work, either financially or otherwise, please check out the links in the description below. I've got several Udemy courses available for sale, but there are other non-financial ways to support me, like wishlisting Gunforged, which is going to be out in the next couple months. So everything helps. Any bit of support is greatly appreciated. And yeah, thank you again to everyone. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. All right, bye-bye.